Well, that's fine.
Hey, I'm Rhoda from Southern Hospitality, and I'm out here in the garden with my dad, Albert, and this is Parker, my great niece, and we're going to take a little tour in the garden today. And I'm going to ask my dad some questions that maybe all of you have wanted to ask him. So we're going to talk about his garden, how long he's been gardening, and all that. So let's go. Say hi, Dad.
Hi.
All right, so Daddy, how long have you been gardening? Like 50-something years?
Yeah.
At least?
Yeah.
Because I'm almost 60, and I know you've been gardening just about my whole life.
Let me start out by telling a little tale about you and Renee. When I bought this land here to build my house on, there were a lot of little trees, little pines, all growing all through here.
Yeah.
And they had had the bulldozer to push them up and clean them up. And I got Renee and Rhoda to come out and pick up rocks.
I remember. It was horrible.
And they began to complain. They said, this ground is growing rocks.
That's what it felt like. I remember.
You remember that?
It was not fun.
Yeah.
So the most important thing in preparing a garden is to get the soil prepared correctly,
You gotta get that soil.
So you got the rocks out, and then you started adding mulch and manure and all that kind of stuff into it.
Anything that you can add.
And that's been years. That's been years ago
Yeah.
that you started this garden, because they've been in this house since I was about 15 or 16 in this particular house. So he's been gardening back here that long of my life.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you started planting this garden. Oh, and another thing about preparing the soil is my brother-in-law Bruce has been bringing over bags of leaves, and he's been putting those on the garden. This year he did that for the first time. Put a lot of leaves on the garden.
That's correct.
And he said that's really helped everything. Yeah. And so they spread it all on there, and then he plowed it all in with his tiller. And he said that's really helped his soil a lot, just to put those decomposing leaves in and let them mulch. And so he's going to put more on too. He's going to keep adding those leaves and mulching them in to the dirt.
This row right here, Lauren, is where all those squash came from.
Yep, the squash are coming in right now.
Yeah.
And that's our first bit of crop is squash.
Yeah, that's.
So let's go down the aisle a little bit and see what we've got out here. It's kind of wet out here. We just got rain, but this is the Parks Whopper tomatoes, and you can see that there's little tomatoes on here right now, and they're going to be ripe hopefully in another couple of months. Well, no, not months. They'll be ready in about a month.
In about a month, there'll be some of them
but
ready.
We've got lots on the vine already coming
these
along.
on down here, Lauren,
these are looking better.
Or better.
Down here.
Yeah.
And this right here is, what is this again? Oh, this is sweet potato.
This is sweet potatoes.
And that's eggplant.
This is eggplant right here. These 4 plants right
and
here.
I see you got the corn back up after you had a storm through.
Had a storm
and blew the corn
a couple of days ago, and I got 2 rows of corn there, and it was as pretty as it could be. And that storm came through and laid it down. Every bit of it was laying down.
Was it really?
Yes, every bit of it.
Well, you got it back up. It looks good. It looks good. So let's go down this row and we'll talk about it.
It would have been better if it hadn't have.
Yeah, it would have been.
Got blown over.
So we've got lots of tomatoes going here.
Yeah.
On both sides. And these tomatoes, you can see how big these already are. Look how tall these are right now. They're almost.
This row right here, Lauren, that's black-eyed peas.
Okay.
They haven't started producing yet, but they will. They're growing great.
Lauren, why don't you walk that way and then
they're growing real pretty, real good.
But the tomatoes are looking gorgeous. They're all blooming right now.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have tomatoes soon, so that's going to be very fun.
They're putting on little tomatoes, and they're
And
coming
is this
fine.
Peppers down here?
That's pepper. That's bell pepper.
Bell peppers. Okay. Those beans are looking really good, and the corn's looking good. Surprisingly.
This is bell pepper here. And
okay. And okra, this is okra right here, isn't it?
That's okra.
Okra,
That's okra.
more eggplant,
That's eggplant there.
and over there
That's
is,
Irish potatoes.
oh yeah, the white potatoes.
Yeah.
So
Those are Irish
he
potatoes.
has got quite a crop growing out here.
Yeah.
What would be your tip for somebody that wants to get started in a garden?
Well, you've got to find you a spot of land. That's the first thing, and then you got to clean it up,
Prepare that soil.
prepare that soil.
The more you put in there, the better as far as getting
That's
it.
exactly right.
Getting it. Here in Georgia, we have horrible red clay dirt,
Yeah.
so that has to be broken up. And
Yeah, you got-
to amend it with products
Yeah.
like manure and mulch and
Yeah,
leaves and all
anything
that.
like that.
And composting is good too. They've always been composters. They don't do it the regular way, but they dump lots of scraps back here. Lots of fruit and vegetable scraps get dumped in the garden, so it gets compacted and
Too hot.
composted that way.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
Okay, you hot.
See, this corn, it's just beginning to tossle
Yep.
and put on the shoots, the little shoots, little corn is just getting started. You have to, you can't hardly, if you don't know what you're looking for, you can't, you don't see it. But, but these little little leaves right down there, that's the beginning of an ear.
Show me.
Huh?
I think that little leaf popping out down
That
there.
leaf
at
popping out right there,
That's the beginning of an ear. Okay.
that's
Right there.
right there.
Right
and
here?
Over here. That's
Yeah.
right. There. And over here on the next stalk, same thing.
Right here?
That's right. That's the beginning of an ear. Back up a little bit, and you can see there's one that the silk. See the silk on it? Yes. It's just getting started.
As far as fertilizer, you only use like 10-10-10 fertilizer for the most part, don't you?
10, 10,
So
10.
do you fertilize in the spring and then later on in the summer? Do you
10,
fertilize
10,
again?
10, 10, 10 is,
How often?
is the standard.
How often do you fertilize?
Well,
Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna
the
go.
average
Just a second.
average things that I plant, when I put it out, I put a little fertilizer around it. You don't want to put too much because that commercial fertilizer will burn it.
Okay.
But you put a little bit to start with, and then a couple of times in very limited number as it grows, and
Okay.
that's the way it works.
Okay. And as long as you get plenty of rain, then everything just grows.
Got to get the rain.
Yep. That's another crucial
Got
part
to
of
get
it.
the rain.
So.
That's for sure.
All right. Anything else you want to share before we go today?
Yeah, we got beans over there. It's got some
All right.
beans on them.
Well, let's
go
go
over
look
there
at
and look
those
at
real
them.
quick.
They're just beginning. We haven't picked one of them, but there's some of them might be able to pick Lauren a little handful before she goes home.
Here's some compost.
Okay, we're going to look at the beans. And these are Blue Lake beans.
These are blue legs.
All right, these are Blue Lake beans on this row. So get a look at those.
Here's some that you can see the beans, Lauren.
Oh, yeah. There they are.
See the beans right there?
Those are good. Those are my favorite beans, Blue Lakes. They're really good. They're not stringy.
And these are just beginning to come in. We haven't picked any of them so far.
Yeah.
So time they sit there another 4 or 5 days, there'll be a big picking.
All right.
Yep,
Well,
that's it.
well here's this homemade compost bin.
Yep.
It is not fancy. It's got some weeds growing in here. Oh, it looks like old tomato plants coming up in there. But he throws scraps and everything in here and lets it compost. So that's
it.
that's a homemade composter right there. So, all right. Well, I think we've got enough on here for today. So we're going to sign off. And I wanted you to see my dad in action. All of you love his garden so much. So I wanted to show you how he's doing things and let him share with you so you could hear from him. So we'll see you later.